Hello there and welcome to Wembley, a fitting backdrop really to the biggest day in the Football League calendar, the Sky Bet Championship playoff final. It is of course the single most lucrative game in world football, with the winners picking up a reported £134 million. The question is, will it be Derby County or Queen's Park Rangers? It's a game which pits a former England manager, Steve McClaren, against a one-time would-be England manager, Harry Redknapp. Having won 7 and drawn 1 of their last 8 matches, Derby are the form team going into the showdown. The Rams outclassing Brighton in the semi-final, edging the first leg 2-1 at the Amex thanks to a Chris Martin penalty and a Thomas Kuszczak's own goal before running riots at the iPro. Will Hughes' goal opening the floodgates as Derby romped to a 4-1 victory.
Can you quite believe the transformation under Steve McClaren?
Absolutely brilliant, unbelievable transformation from 14th up to playoff final.
He's just really brought the team together. A couple of good loan signings, brought the team together. Midfield, fantastic. Scoring for fun. 3-1 to Derby.
I think QPR shouldn't be in the final. They should have walked the championship. So, you know, it's our time.
Pre-season favourites QPR, meanwhile, are just 1 match away from an immediate return to the Premier League, having overcome highly fancied Wigan over 2 legs in the semis. After a cagey goalless first leg at the DW, Rangers had to come from behind at a frenzied Loftus Road. James Perch had given the Latics an early lead, but top scorer Charlie Austin came to Harry Redknapp's rescue, equalising from the penalty spot before scoring a dramatic extra-time winner.
Why didn't you get this job over the line for one of the automatic positions?
It's very difficult. It's a very tough division. Everyone's put pressure on us by saying we were the favourites, but we certainly got a chance today.
Charlie Austin out for 2 or 3 months was definitely a key to that. A couple of other injuries as well, but we'll do it today, don't worry.
So as the heavens open, the scene is set then for the 2014 Championship playoff final, where the prize could not be much bigger for either Derby or Queen's Park Rangers. In the commentary box, Phil Neville and Steve Wilson.
So 9 months of blood, sweat, tears and cheers comes down to this. 1 Premier League place and a whole multitude of millions are there for the winning. Derby or Queen's Park Rangers is the question today. Derby were 14th when Steve McClaren took over at the end of September, 3rd when the regular season ended. And McClaren starts today with the team which beat Brighton in the second leg of their semi-final. Craig Bryson, 14 goals and 16 assists this season, is fit, but he's on the bench, and Will Hughes starts. It's Queen's Park Rangers' first Wembley visit since 1986. They haven't won here since 1967. This 11 beat Wigan in the second leg of their semi-final. It's 4-4-2, Doyle and Austin up front. Nico Cranchar fit after a hamstring scare. So it's Derby County to get the 2014 Sky Bet Championship playoff final underway, kicking from left to right. Lee Mason's happy, and away we go. Derby County, white shirts, black shorts, kicking from left to right against Queen's Park Rangers in the red and black hooped shirts. First tackle of the game brings the first throw into the game Queen's Park Rangers' way, and straight into it, Will Hughes.
And that midfield area is going to be a key battle today. QPR have got two midfield players in there, where Derby have got 3.
Hoylett for Queen's Park Rangers. Over the top from Joey Barton. And the free kick is given against Nico Cranchar. Will Hughes. Thorne again. Thorne attacking the penalty area, finding wisdom. Hughes. Wisdom's cross. He did well to squeeze it in from a fairly unpromising position, but there was no one there in a white shirt.
Well, Derby County didn't get many people in the box there. I think Lee Mason set his stall out early. He's not going to give any cheap fouls away.
Danny Simpson with this throw-in. Nice little ball forward from Hughes. Martin lets it go. That's going to be a corner, and it's Derby's first.
The first time we've seen somebody supporting Chris Martin. Good link-up play with Will Hughes. Derby need a good delivery.
Keogh and Hendrick forward. Chris Martin inside the area. Jake Buxton there too. Jamie Ward to take this in towards the near post. Richard Dunn got a head on it, as he so often does. Ward can have another go. Maybe a more promising angle. Oh. Great ball in. Forsyth popping up at the back post. That's probably the clearest sight of goal that either side have had.
Yeah, I think it was Clint Hill at the far post. Slightly misjudged it. The best ball of the game so far from a crossing angle. It was Chris Martin looking for a tap-in.
No kind of angle in which to score, really. You can see that Robert Green was right on the post. Doyle winning yet another header for Rangers, but Will Hughes furthest forward for Derby here. Pass over here, Clint Hill can deal with it. Keogh. There were a few Queen's Park Rangers fans expressing the hope that their players, who perhaps with more top-flight experience, might walk out on this Wembley stage and feel more at home than their Derby counterparts. And Rangers have probably had the better of the first 25 minutes or so, Phil, but it certainly hasn't been any yawning chasm. Derby are certainly not freezing on the big day.
No, it's QPR have started the game better. Maybe that little bit of extra experience helped calm the nerves a little bit. But you know, the longer the game goes on, the energy that Derby possess will come into it more and more.
Here's Keogh. Johnny Russell climbing, but beaten in the air by Hill. Wisdom to Thorne and back. And Hughes and Thorne and Hughes. Misplaced from Thorne straight to Simpson. Here's Hoylett. And now Gary O'Neill.
Looks like George Thorne is the key man for Derby. Everything goes through him. Every little triangle. He's the link man. He's the spare man in midfield for Derby today. They need to get him on the ball all the time.
Ward trying to find a way through. Russell wants the pass. It's gone instead to Hughes. Will Hughes here. Oh, now was he caught by Dunn? Lee Mason has said no. Well, he seemed to beat Richard Dunn there, Will Hughes, and he's asking the question of the referee, and Lee Mason has said no penalty.
Well, that looked like a penalty from me from where I was. We saw a similar one, Mesut Ozil, in the Champions League game. No, it was a great decision in the end. I think he went down easy there, Will Hughes. We look down, Nicol Cranchar looks like he's going to be subbed. Is it hamstring again?
Well, he's had that niggle ever since the semi-final against Wigan, Nicol Cranchar. And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to continue. And Armand Traoré, left back initially, but now plays further up the field, former Arsenal man. And here come Derby County again. Will Hughes onto this, Hughes!
We'll be disappointed with that, Will Hughes. Sat up perfectly for him after a great run from Craig Forsyth.
Well, this standing applause on 31 minutes is for a BBC Radio Derby commentator Colin Bloomfield, who is battling with cancer at the moment. Extremely popular figure with the supporters and within the club. Well, Cranchar is being replaced.
He obviously wasn't 100% fit, and when you go into games of this magnitude, you need to be 100% fit, because now QPR have to make a substitution. These games tend to go to extra time. Maybe it's a substitution that QPR didn't want to make so soon.
Armand Traore will come on. He'll be a natural fit on that left-hand side. Kevin Bond with a few final instructions. Wally Downs down there as well.
You see when Derby get the ball, Joey Barton, Gary O'Neill are dropping right on the toes of their centre-backs, not allowing any space. Very difficult for Chris Martin to get any balls into his feet.
Here he is. Is that a free kick? Yes, it is. Ward knocked over by Anua. Not Anua's first transgression of the game.
No, it was a lazy tackle this by Nedum Anua. Tackled with his wrong foot. I think we've seen 3 or 4 of these positions from both teams so far, and we've not quite got the delivery that's expected.
Well, they won't be short on numbers in there, I think, Derby. About 7 in a cluster on the edge of the penalty area as the free kick comes in. Oh, and I don't think there was any touch at all. There was, it was the faintest, and Rob Green has put it round the post for a corner.
So difficult for goalkeepers these. They've got to anticipate somebody touching the ball, but not let the ball go into that far corner. It was a good save by Rod Green in the end.
Nearly went straight in. Will Hughes' corner. That's very comfortable for Green. Not the best throw out. And the ball had just gone out of play.
Harry Redknapp wasn't happy with that throw then from Rob Green. I'm sure QPR will be better equipped this time in the Premiership in terms of their spending.
The last time they dropped out of the top flight, they were out of it for 15 years. Just the one season since they came down. But no guarantees about going back up again, though they're on the counter here. Clint Hill did ever so well, can feed Armand Traore. Gary O'Neill getting forward, Traore carrying it himself, and then a cross-come shot that troubles no one.
Armand Traore there, good counter-attack from QPR. Clint Hill broke through. I think it was Kevin Doyle who was breaking his neck to get up on the outside of Armand Traore, just making a run down the side. Need to show a little bit more composure there, Traore. Both teams haven't committed that many men forward. They haven't gambled as yet.
There's his team of trusty lieutenants, Harry Redknapp, Joe Jordan, Kevin Bond. He's brought Wally Downs in. Had Steve McLaren in, of course, at the start of the season. Kevin Hitchcock. Been around the block a few times, Harry Redknapp and his team of accomplices. Jeff Hendrick for Derby finds Forsyth. It's a bit short for Thorne, and it's well won by Barton. And there might be in a spot of bother here. Kevin Doyle getting forward for Rangers. Armand Traore too. Thorne slid in and took it cleanly. Great challenge. Keogh to Ward. Keogh, Ward. That wasn't a bad idea, but Forsyth, Chris Martin rather, was rather leaden-footed getting out of the blocks. What a tackle this was.
Oh, it was a fantastic challenge. Sprinted back. That's what he's in there for, as a holding midfield player, not just to get the possession. He's in there to win the ball back as well. When Derby have possession of the ball, I think they need Hendricks and Hughes to get closer to Martin, give him more support, be a little bit more adventurous. At the moment, both them two midfield players are a little bit cautious.
Half-time is a matter of a few moments away. In fact, there is the whistle blown by Lee Mason. It's been fairly cagey, as you might expect from a game with so much riding on it. Queen's Park Rangers might feel that they've just bossed the possession, but the half chance of the game arguably fell Derby County's way with Forsyth's header wide. Hoylett, perhaps the pick of the bunch, lively for Rangers. Half-time, Derby County 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0. From a neutral point of view, the game was a little short on real opportunities in the first half. But both managers, I think, would settle for not having conceded so far. Here's Joey Barton for Queen's Park Rangers. No half-time changes. And Barton just puts a 7-iron way over the back of the green. It's a goal kick. Ward forward. Russell was onto it. Now, who got the last touch on that? Richard Dunn, I think. It's a corner.
It's the first time we've seen the QPR centre-backs tested. From winger to winger. Ward to Russell. Good running behind Johnny Russell.
Both teams now attacking the ends at which their fans are based, and Jamie Ward about to take this corner, making the most of that by applauding the travelling Derby fans away behind Rob Green's goal. In goes the corner. Richard Dunn, a good header again. And Simpson's put it straight behind for another one.
They've started well second half, Derby. I see that Steve McLaren's told them to be more positive. They're putting more people in the box.
Will Hughes to take this. He's been getting the fans going as well then. Zipped in, that's a better delivery, but Clint Hill, I think, got a clearing head on it. Will Hughes. O'Neill's lost it. Offanua, and 3 quick corners in succession for Derby County.
That was a fantastic header from Clint Hill. That's what you need your defenders to do.
There's the 2 centre-halves. Buxton wearing 25 and Keogh with a 6 on his back. Will Hughes corner, floated in, and Richard Dunn there again. O'Neill with only half a header out. Will Hughes once more. Slice up in the air by Hill. Hughes will get underneath this. Just about leave it away. Great spell this for Derby County. Into the box from Keogh, out of the box from Dunn. Andre Wisdom. Russell. Barton snapping at his heels, and then what should have been a fairly straightforward pass from Jeff Hendrick was overhit. And a bit of respite for QPR, and they needed it, Phil.
Oh, they did. It's the first time today we've seen them a little bit ragged at the back. They've been composed so far.
And it won't be long. Harry Redknapp has seen enough. Change is afoot, and Zamora's going to be on. Great noise. That's the Rangers fans trying to sing their side back into it. Charlie Austin. Oh, good tackle. Buxton did well. Here's Doyle. Traore forward, Armand Traore here, and Austin wide of the post. It's the chance that he and they have been waiting for.
Well, it was Richard Keogh who misjudged the header. It's the first time today we've seen quality from the flanks. Armand Traore cut the ball back. How many times this season have we seen Charlie Austin stick them in the back of the net? Totally against the run of play as well. Disappointed with that, Charlie Austin. That was his big moment.
Well, Queen's Park Rangers have made the substitution. Austin has a new strike partner. Kevin Doyle makes way, and Bobby Zamora has come on. Misplaced. Ward for Derby, running into Barton. Well won by Joey Barton. toilet slips, but back on his feet quickly. Bobby Zamora let it go, and Charlie Austin again. That was a much harder chance.
Oh, it was more difficult. I don't think the pass from Junior Hoylett was meant for Charlie Austin. Good tackle from Joey Barton, the midfield player, but it was this pass from Junior Hoylett. I think it was meant for Bobby Zamora. Quite fortunate, difficult chance. The game's opened up a little bit now, though. Saw Harry Redknapp on the touchline 2 minutes before that, screaming at Traore to get forward, be more positive.
Oh, that's a good ball, but well cut out by Anua. Will Hughes, Johnny Russell. Russell for Derby. Oh, and he's brought down. Gary O'Neill right on the edge of the penalty area. What does Lee Mason do here? Yellow or red, that's the only question.
Oh, that looks like a red card. It was Nedum Anua that gave the ball away sloppy, coming out from the back.
He's going to confer with Darren England, his assistant, Lee Mason.
He's got every big decision right so far in the game, Lee Mason. The question was Clint Hill, could he have got back in to save Gary O'Neill from getting a red card? That's
a massive moment in the game. It's red, it's Gary O'Neill sent off. And for at least half an hour, it's 11 against 10. Here it is.
There was Nedum Anua dribbling out from the back. Little nutmeg. No, it was a good decision by Lee Mason. I don't think Clint Hill could have got back there. He was out the game. Johnny Russell was through on goal. Massive moment in the game, this.
It's Ward. Oh, and it's went through the wall, but hit Dunn to corner.
Good defending from Richard Dunn. Put himself in an area where he could get the block in. It was going to keep us side, though.
Well, is it now about survival for QPR? In comes the Hughes corner, up goes the heads. Came off Anua's. Zamora wins a free kick. Chris Martin pushing Bobby Zamora over. And his call, Phil, and I think that, you know, even probably the Rangers bench, when they look at it, will think he got it right.
Yeah, it was cynical foul from Gary O'Neill. We'll go back to the mistake that Nedum Anua made, dribbling out from the back. As a defender, you've got to clear your lines there. But Gary O'Neill had no option, really.
Can Queen's Park Rangers keep Derby out with this one-man disadvantage? Can they actually find a way to hurt Derby at the other? Forsyth with the ball in, Dunn out. Derby fans claiming a push by Dunn. Andre Wisdom. Hendricks. Derby throw.
Well, what Derby are trying to do, they're trying to make the pitch as wide as possible. Ward on one side, Dawkins on the other. Create the space in the middle. Try and capitalise on that extra man.
That's a great little ball. Oh, saved by Robert Green. Lovely ball into Hendricks.
That's what Craig Bryson's been doing all season, making that third man run.
In comes the corner kick. Out by Traore. It was Hendricks into Bryson and Robert Green with the save. Wisdom. Oh, and it's hit the outside of the post from Chris Martin. Was there a deflection too? There was. It's a corner.
Well, it was Bryson again, making that run into that final cube. We've not seen much of that from the Derby midfield players this game so far. First chance of the game for Chris Martin.
In comes the Ward corner. Out it goes from Bobby Zamora. Thorne. Bryson. And again. Ward once more. All Derby now. Takes on Traore. Ward's ball into the box. And headed over the top by Keogh.
They're piling on the pressure now, Derby. I can sense that they smell the kill now.
Keogh, Jake Buxton, Forsyth, intelligently pulled back Bryson into Dawkins. Bryson again, Joey Barton covering. Dawkins! Great save by Green. Rifled back in by Ward and deflected off a Derby man. I think it hit Chris Martin. It's a goal kick.
That was Craig Bryson again. Played a 1-2 with Simon Dawkins here. Neat little 1-2. Good reverse pullback as well for him. Another good save by Robert Green. Derby keep piling on the pressure. You think it's only a matter of time before they get the goal.
Just one goal surely would do it. It would be, if Derby do score in these next few moments, almost unthinkable that Rangers with 10 men would get themselves back into the game. Possible, but very unlikely. Good quick feet from Buxton. Martin to Dawkins. Straight down the throat of Robert Green again, who has done everything he's been called upon to do. Now Hoylett for Rangers, and their fans find their voice. Hoylett. Joey Barton is available to his left. Instead he goes to Dunn. Dunn in towards Zamora, dealt with by Buxton and given away. A rash shot from Barton was 2 or 3 yards wide in the end. We are now in the 90th minute of the last game of this 9-month season, and still we don't know who's going up. Well cut out by Hoylett. Bobby Zamora. Zamora urged by the Rangers fans to attack. He's won a throw-in.
Found some energy from somewhere. The long of an end, long hard season. A lot of tired minds and legs out there.
Oh, Hoylett's done well, got it away from Buxton. Bobby Zamora's in the middle. Zamora! He scored! Bobby Zamora for Queen's Park Rangers in the very last minute. There were less than 20 seconds to play, and Bobby Zamora has scored, and Queen's Park Rangers surely are heading back to the Premier League. Absolute despair for Derby County, but Bobby Zamora has been doing that for years and years.
Unbelievable. The Derby players are on the knees. It was Jake Buxton here. Got dispossessed by Junior Hoylett. We said 2 minutes ago there was going to be a chance.
It was a double mistake, wasn't it, really, Phil? Jake Buxton caught in possession, and then Keogh played it straight to Zamora.
Brilliant finish from Bobby Zamora.
Oh, what a moment for Harry Redknapp. The 10 men are in front.
Football.
Have Queen's Park Rangers just won the jackpot? What scenes now from those blue and white hordes from only 4 or 5 miles down the road. Some of them walked here from Loftus Road.
You've got to feel for the Derby County players. They've given everything. They've thrown the kitchen sink at QPR. They're just got to get the ball forward. No messing about now. Get the ball into the box. It's the last throw of the dice.
In it goes. Chris Martin is up there. He won the header. This is Bamford trying the overhead kick. Barton made the block. It's a corner. Is there time to take it? Rangers think there shouldn't be. The goalkeeper's coming up, Lee Grant. Why not?
It's the last chance of a 9-month season.
Stranger things have happened, but not many. Derby corner. Lee Mason blows his whistle. In it goes. Flicked on. There's half a chance here. And it's going to be a throw into Queen's Park Rangers, and surely the next whistle will mean that the West Londoners are back in the top flight.
QPR fans.
The celebrations have started, Phil. All eyes on Lee Mason here.
We've not heard the QPR fans now for 30-40 minutes.
There's the whistle. Queen's Park Rangers are promoted. Bobby Zamora's 90th minute strike leaves Derby County face down in the Wembley turf. The 10 men have beaten the 11, and it'll be QPR back at the top table of English football next season, and Derby somehow have to lift themselves from the devastation of defeat.
Well, it's a painful game, football. The young players from Derby are all on the knees. They've given everything for this last 9 months. Sometimes these scripts are written. QPR down to 10 men. Not a chance in the second half apart from Charlie Austin's. Backs against the wall. Couldn't get out their own half. They end up winning the game. Probably the biggest prize of all, going into the Premiership.
Bobby Zamora celebrates, and Queen's Park Rangers are a Premier League club once again. It has finished in a remarkable Championship playoff final. Derby County 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
I'll be honest, you know, they were dominating. You could only see one team scoring, and then we go and pull one out the bag like that. It's an amazing game.
I mean, hand on heart, did you think you were in for extra time? Well, most definitely extra time.
Well, that's what we were looking for, Clem. We're looking for penalties. You know, we've got 10 men. You're hoping for penalties. To pull one out the bag like that was just incredible.
What a magnificent group of men we've got. Throughout the season, everybody's doubted us, questioned our mentality, our desire. That's just shown what we're all about. There's no mercenaries in there. We're a band of brothers, and we've been through hell this season, and that is just magnificent. I'm delighted for them, our chairman, but more importantly our boys. They deserve every bit of that.
When everybody's talking about the biggest game in world football financially, how do you play the match and not play the reward at the end of it?
It's the reward's not ours, you know, it's all for the clubs and stuff like that. So for us, it's the pleasure of playing at Wembley and the pleasure of hopefully having a chance of playing in the Premier League, and that's what our aim and dreams are. It's not about financial rewards or anything like that. So just to be able to play at Wembley and win is a great thing.
I had bad experience there 12, 13 years ago where I got sent off, where I didn't get to walk them steps. I didn't get to walk them steps, and that's haunted me throughout my career. And these lads have given me probably my proudest moment as a footballer, to go up them steps and lift a trophy for this club.
Well, a lot of these players have a lot of experience of international and club football successes, but this will rank right up there along everything that they've achieved in their careers. And there is the playoff trophy. Here come Queen's Park Rangers to take their place back in the Premier League. Clint Hill, an enormous hug. Joey Barton, followed by Robert Green and Richard Dunn. A wonderful piece of silverware which will be lifted jointly by Clint Hill and Joey Barton. Queen's Park Rangers are back in the Premier League.
It takes days, maybe a couple of weeks to really get over this. That's why we stayed out and we applauded Queen's Park Rangers. Football, you don't often get what you deserve, and we didn't get that today. And it's a cruel way to end the game. and for somebody and people to make mistakes. You know, we don't blame anybody. I'm so proud of the players for what they've achieved so far this season and the way they played today. You know, and you could only see one winner.
I think Derby played really well today. You know, I think they're probably one of the favourites for the Championship next season. So to have come out on the other side, even with 10 men, is incredible.
Hand on heart, Adam, could you see that coming? Could you see that coming in so late in the game?
I could, because I know what Bobby Zamora's like.
Since January, you know, I've been fit, raring to go, and just obviously Charlie's been unreal this year, and I've been playing one up top, so the chances haven't come. But my part has been last 20 minutes, last 30 minutes to go on and try and change the game a little bit at times, and thankfully I've managed to do that again today.
You know, if ever there was a way of doing it hard, going down to 10 men with half an hour to go was the way. But Gaz took one for the team. I think it was a justified sending off. I think the referee got it right. I mean, I feel for Derby. They played great today. They're a good young footballing side, good young coach, fantastic support. But thankfully, you know, the proverbial smash and grab, you know, they probably deserve to win it, but no one will be bothered about that in August next year when the Premier League fixtures come out.
There's been a lot of scrutiny about your manager. Any doubts that he'll be in charge of you? First game kicks off in the Premier League?
Absolutely no doubts. You know, I've always won consistency. I've always won stability. The pack of cards have drawn that we haven't been able to do that. But, you know, we'll sit down. We're smarter. It's a tougher league. There's nothing I can predict. All I can say is I'm a little bit wiser, a little bit greyer. And for the moment, I'm going to enjoy every moment. And, boy, I'm really happy.
Very many congratulations to QPR back in the Premier League after one season away. Commiserations to Derby County. Very much the calm after the storm here at Wembley Stadium. With me, Steve Claridge. Steve, was it an archetypal smash and grab from QPR?
Well, if you're looking at the stats and if you're looking at the shots on target, corners and so what, yes. If you're talking about actual gilt-edged chances, there certainly wasn't that much between the sides, obviously. I mean, people will hark back to QPR having one shot on target and that was the goal. But if you're saying were there masses of clear-cut chances for Derby, probably not, no.
OK, well, the first half was a very cagey affair. In fact, the whole game was pretty cagey, wasn't it? Not quite sure if that was due to nerves, but there was one, I suppose, slightly controversial moment. Approaching the half-an-hour mark, Will Hughes fouled in the QPR penalty area by Richard Dunn. Was it a penalty?
I think the referee's got it right. It looked, you know, when we first saw it, thought, yeah, that looks a penalty. And then when you see it again, I think the knee's touched, but it's minimal contact. I don't think it's enough to bring him down. He's actually trying to change direction, so I think that plays a part in it where he loses balance slightly as well. And then obviously with the touch, that slightly exaggerates it. But for me, no, not a penalty.
As for the second half, with just, half an hour left, we saw Gary O'Neill giving his marching orders. At the time, I wasn't quite sure whether it was going to be given a red, but you were sure from the start.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the strange thing was that just at that moment, five minutes previous to that, QPR probably had their best part of the game. They had a great opportunity. I think Charlie Austin, Zamora had come on and had made a huge difference, just like he had in the semi-final. And all of a sudden, you felt the game turn. They get the sending off, you think it's going against them. For me, it was a sending off. The reason being is that Russell is through, he takes one more touch and he gets a clear shot on target. Now, obviously, if you're on the halfway line, you've got 40, 50 yards to go, then people can get on the cover. As it was, there's no way anyone would have made contact with him. It's a scoring opportunity, a clear scoring opportunity, and that's why he had to go off.
You got the impression then the tide was very much in Derby's favour, and with their passing game, they could exploit maybe the numbers, I suppose, against QPR.
Yeah.
But they had to regroup, didn't they? Richard Dunn was excellent at the back, and
Fantastic.
There was an interesting substitution where Clint Hill decided to volunteer himself to come off.
He did. I think Harry wanted to go three in midfield and play a tight three, and that meant losing Hoylett out of those three and go for three central midfielders. Yeah. But obviously Clint Hill sees what's going on and remonstrates with Harry and says, no, take me off, leave Hoylett on.
Which shows what professional Clint is, and we know that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, what he's looking for, he's saying, we need an out.
Yeah.
You know, we can't defend this.
Hoylett.
We need somebody who's going to give us an out, and Hoylett can be that. So take me off, put Traore back, and then bring Henry on and put him in midfield and give us an out, which obviously they did, and that was beneficial in regards to the goal.
Because minutes later, Hoylett then provided the assist. And up popped Bobby Zamora just on 90 minutes.
I mean, it's an incredible situation to have got to that stage. They defended brilliantly. You know, we said when the sending went off, we thought this really does stack the odds in their favour, Derby. But QPR never allowed the game to become spaced out. Never allowed, you know, hot gaps in between the defence and the midfield. As you say, defended manfully, and then that little bit of when you've had so much of the ball, you just take your eye off the ball for that split second defensively, which they did. And we all know, Richard Keogh should really get his foot through it and clear it. Doesn't, isn't sure whether to pass it or clear it. Doesn't either. And Bobby Zamora, it's a wonderful finish because he's got time to actually think, right, now what have I got to do this? And it's a side foot, and it's sure, and it's precise, and it's a fantastic finish.
Just as he did in the 2005 Championship final when he saw West Ham through to the Premier League. So what about Harry's future? It's already been mentioned, we saw that in the interview from Tony Fernandez, the owner at QPR. He is unequivocally staying at Loftus Road.
And rightly so. I mean, you might have had a different outcome if they hadn't got promoted, but I think rightly so. He's done the job that he was brought to do. Albeit, OK, they've had a good budget. We know that financially they might need to be a little bit more prudent. But having said that, they've achieved what they set out, and that was their brief, to get promoted, and they've done that.
And a word for Derby County, who've come on leaps and bounds under Steve McLaren. Yeah. They finished the division, the season as the highest scorers. So much to be pleased about for Rams fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's no consolation, is it, unfortunately, at this stage. But, hopefully next season they'll be able to carry on that into next year. It will just be a blemish for them. Hopefully they can carry that momentum into next season and then maybe go one step further. And rightly so, because they've had a wonderful year, and they'll feel a little bit hard done by, I think, after
and
today.
They have got youth on their side, which also helps.
They have. They've got a very bright future.
OK, Steve, thanks very much indeed.
Pleasure.
So my thanks to Steve then, and a reminder, we had late drama here at Wembley, of course, today. We're hoping for much of the same on Monday night. We'll be reflecting on the two remaining playoff finals, both for League 1 and 2. Join me at 11:25 on BBC One. So very well done then to Harry Redknapp's QPR. It was very much the late show from them. They're back in the Premier League with a ram raid of their own. From all of us here at Wembley, good night.
9 months of blood, sweat, tears and cheers comes down to this. Will Hughes here. Oh, now is he caught by Dunn? Lee Mason has said no. Well, Green has put it around the post. And Austin wide of the post. Russell for Derby. Oh, and he's brought down. It's red. All safe by Robert Green.